All right. Well, we ready to get this episode started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's rock and roll here.
All right. Welcome to My Dad's Movie Podcast. I'm Mick Johnson. I'm the dad. And with me?
Hey, Tabor Johnson. I'm the son.
There you go.
Yeah. The good son.
The good son.
I'm the one that at the end of the movie, you let Macaulay Culkin fall to the bottom of the cliff and you pull me up.
Is that what I do?
I hope.
We might rewrite that show.
Okay. Good grief.
So with us, Tabor, we've had Amber on before, but we have Amber Hofmeister.
Yeah.
I'm the daughter. I'm the daughter, Amber Johnson.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, we have a daughter. Woo!
Now, I do have a question about your... Whoop! Oh, we lost...
Sorry, my cat knocked over my phone.
Oh.
I've got a question about your last name.
Yeah.
So, Amber Hofmeister, Amber Brooke, Amber Geithner. I find you under all these last names. What is going on?
So technically, they're all right. Amber Brooke is Brooke is my middle name, so that's real. Hofmeister is my maiden name, and Geithner is my married name. So they're all really me.
Okay, so we should be calling you Amber Geithner now.
Yeah, but I normally just go by Amber Brooke because everyone just kind of calls me that anyway. And I haven't legally changed my name yet because it's really expensive and it's a lot of paperwork.
Sure.
You're in IMDb as Amber Brooke, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's where everything makes sense is final call IMDb.
Right.
We're a movie podcast, so that's where we draw the line right there.
That's right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You are one of the hardest working people that we talk to on the podcast. You are constantly doing stuff. What is new? What is new for you? What do you got going on?
Holy diver. Do I have a lot in the pipeline? I like to stay busy, and I'm always busy, whether it's with my kiddos and husband or movies or my actual day job. I'm always on the go. But right now I have a movie coming up in a couple weeks in Indiana. And this coming weekend, I will be a guest at the famous Blairstown Diner in New Jersey. That's going to be really cool. Yeah, I was stoked about that one.
I just saw that poster on
Facebook?
No, the other one.
Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. So you know what Blairstown is, right?
Isn't it a town?
Well, that's a very good guess.
And I know the last time you were on, you talked about the diner.
Yes.
I remember that. Yeah.
So Blairstown is the shooting location of the very first Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Which is what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, what
Friday
a perfect segue.
What a segue.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think, luckily we don't get a lot of comments on the show right now because if we did, they'd probably be crucifying me. But I think only the first Friday the 13th is shot in New Jersey.
Yes.
And then as the movies progress, they start to move out west. Actually, okay. I know for sure that the first one shot in California was Friday the 13th Part 3.
Okay.
But that was because you can't get a giant 3D camera and ship it to the East Coast. It's got to stay on the West Coast.
Sure.
But that's not the one we're talking about today, so we can, specifically talk about.
So you have a little bit of experience with Friday the 13th. And didn't you? You did a Friday the 13th something movie.
I did Friday the 13th, Vengeance 2, Bloodlines.
Okay.
It is a fan film.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've talked about fan films on the show yet.
I'm not positive I know exactly what a fan film is.
So let's have Amber. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what a fan film is and also what this particular film was.
Yeah. So a fan film is movies by the fans, for the fans, and it has no association with the whole franchise like that. It's just purely for the love of those movies. You can't make any profit from it. It's just for fun, and it is fun. It is so much fun. This one takes place in, we filmed it in Seattle. Well, Woodensville. It's very close to Seattle. I got to hang out with the amazing Jason Brooks, which Tabor.
Yeah, we've had him on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
Yep,
you
yep.
know him. He played Jason in my film, and it was just an incredible experience. We're all huge Friday the 13th fans, and we did it justice. We had so many of the people from the franchise in our film, just in Vengeance 2 alone.
Yeah.
We had like Darcy DeMoss and so many other people, CJ Graham. It
Yeah.
was just a whole little buffet of Friday the 13th people.
Yeah, because
But yeah,
a lot of these actors, they, you know, their biggest credit on their resume is Friday the 13th, and so like they go to conventions and everything, and you have tons of people. There's one, I think it was a Friday the 13th fan film called, I think it was Never Hike Alone 2.
yes.
There's one character who has like maybe 4 lines, and he's just this silly, goofy. He's a police officer, but he's kind of a comic relief character, and he comes back as kind of like the pseudo protagonist in this fan film. Like they give him this bigger role. He's an older man now. He was just some like sheriff's deputy, and now he's the sheriff of the town. And so
on.
to come back 35 years later from a movie that, you know, a lot of these people probably thought, oh, especially with the early Friday the 13th, so, oh, I'm just going to do this movie and then I'll go on and do whatever. Like Kevin Bacon, for example.
Right.
He was in Friday the 13th Part 1. It was just this movie that he was going to put on his resume and then move on. And then as you progress through the series, you kind of knew what Friday the 13th was, so there was like a little bit of honor to it, like, oh, cool, you know, I'm in Friday the 13th Part 8. This is really neat. But after that, it's not going to amount to much. But it has withstood the test of time. The entire franchise is, you know, still very, very popular. And a lot of these actors, they're just like, you know, I'm honored to come back. And you have Betsy Palmer from this first movie who would go to conventions and stuff. And, you know, she loved talking to the fans. And to her, it was just a paycheck. She said that her car broke down and she needed money to get a new one. And that's all this movie was.
Yeah.
She was going to sign up, get a new car. And then it turned into more than just a car.
Right.
You know, it has this huge, you know, cinema footprint that has followed it ever since.
Right.
And so these fan films continue to just bring all these actors out of the woodwork. And so many people are like, oh, you know, I was in Friday the 13th Part 7. You know, I'm definitely coming back. And so it's really cool to see all those people from these older shows and these fan films. But then also we get people like Amber, who is, you know, the new blood, you know, pun intended, to come in and like fill up the, you know, the new roles in these little franchise films.
Yeah.
So, with the fan films, there's fan films for everything. There's Halloween fan films, Nightmare on Elm Street fan films,
My Bloody Valentine, everything.
But there's a reason why Friday the 13th fan films are everywhere. It's because Friday the 13th is in lawsuit limbo right now.
Oh,
yes.
really?
Everything from the entire franchise is split up into like 4 different parties, and one person owns this and one person owns that, and no one can get along. No one can put their differences aside long enough to make any new movies, to make any new TV shows. I think there's a new TV show now, but I mean,
Crystal Lake.
But it took years to get that off the ground. And so what did fans do in the meantime? They're just like, it's been, 2009 was the last Friday the 13th film, and there's been a dry spell ever since. So
how many do we have?
I think 13. I think 13 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
I'd have to count them, but I'm pretty sure it's about 13.
So the first one comes out in 1980, right? And Amber, what is it about Friday the 13th that you really like? Why are you so drawn to? Because you do a lot of this type of work, the horror slasher, scary type of stuff. What is it about Friday the 13th that you're really drawn to?
It was different for the time. It kind of set the bar. I mean, we have, you know, Michael Myers, but that was a whole different, that was in a town and he was just killing kids, you know, and then here in Camp Crystal Lake, we're not in a town anymore. We're out in the middle of the woods. We're really vulnerable.
Right.
And that's kind of scary. Like, if you think about it, you guys go camping, right? Like, what would happen if you're in the woods and all of a sudden you hear like giant footsteps and stuff like that? It's terrifying. So like it kind of brings a whole new level to that in movies. And Jason was pretty cool looking. But like obviously not in the first one because he was just a little kid in the water. But also I'm a mom, right? So I love my kids and I would do anything for my kids. I can identify with Pamela.
Yeah. I think we've talked about, I think the last time you were on the show, we talked about killing teenagers for the fun of it. I'd have to go back and listen to the episode, but we made a joke about that or something like that.
I'm sure that's come up.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
But yeah, so you do bring up a good point. Jason is not the killer in this movie. Spoiler alert for a movie that's 40 years old at this point.
Y'all should know by now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And thanks to Scream, that's kind of an easy trope to recognize now. They brought that up in the Scream movie at the very beginning.
First one, yep.
I'm not sure how long it's been since you've seen Scream.
I don't think I've ever actually watched them all the way through. I know that like Mom and the other kids, they have little Scream fests and they'll sit down and they'll watch Scream all the way through, and I'll see them watching it, but I don't have time to sit down and watch a whole Scream.
See, to you, horror movies kind of tend to be like a vegetable tray, aren't they? It just sits there and other people are enjoying it, and then you walk into the room.
I see it. I avoid it. I don't know.
Not avoid it, but you see something like, oh, I'll pick it a couple pieces, and then you'll leave, and then just like leave the tray.
I'm moving stuff around looking for meat.
Yeah.
You just want the cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you don't sit down and have a full meal with a horror movie, which I get everyone has their own taste, but it's a huge bummer because I love horror movies. I think
Me too.
I think they're what is making the most money right now. No one's going out to see Marvel anymore. I mean, Obsession just destroyed in the box office over the last couple of weeks. That's an incredible movie.
And I'm sure now that Evil Dead is out, that's gonna blow everything out of the water too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see that this week if I can.
We saw that yesterday. Was it yesterday? Nope, Friday. I lied.
Yeah.
But it was I'll just say, it might be unpopular opinion, but I personally liked Rise better.
Okay. I'll have to see how I feel. I'll let you know when I
I mean, it's good. It is definitely good, but I definitely think Rise was a more solid film.
Yeah. See, I didn't like Rise as much as I liked 2013. So maybe I'll like this one more. Yeah,
2013. Awesome. Yeah, that was the best one for sure.
But anyway, what I'm saying is you're missing out on a whole genre that has got some great stuff out there.
I'll get to it.
And I get what when we were kids and we would go through the VHS, section at the movie store, and there was just all those, garbage horror movies that were just lining the and a lot of them aren't very good. And so I will give you that.
Well, I will tell you what I'm kind of starting to come to appreciate is the genre type stuff. Like Friday the 13th wasn't the first. That was around the Halloween time, right? Didn't Halloween come out first?
I think 2 years earlier.
Yep.
And then they just started getting kind of a whole bunch of stuff after that, right?
Yeah, that's how Hollywood works. Something is good and makes money, and then the executives are like, "That makes money.
Yeah,
let's copy that.
Let's do that."
And so, I mean, that's what started this movie. Was Sean S. Cunningham? Yeah, it was just like Halloween destroyed at the box office. Let's go ahead and try to mimic that success. Let's get a guy with a knife, and of course, it's not 100% slasher just yet. It still kind of has this air of mystery to it, and it's kind of got its foot in both camps. It's got its foot in the slasher camp, and it's got its foot in the Alfred Hitchcock mystery suspense sort of thing. It doesn't fully ride slasher until I'd say part 2, part 3.
Oh yeah, agreed.
So did you guys, watching Friday the 13th, did you already know that Jason wasn't actually the killer, that it was?
When I watched it this time, yeah, I've seen this series at least all the way through.
I'm talking about like the first time.
The first time?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I was expecting Jason to be, I was like, when does Jason get here? When does Jason get here? And he never showed up.
Yeah.
And
He does, but not till the end.
Yeah.
And he's a baby.
And that little taste of Jason at the end, that was enough for me. I was like, okay, I'm all right with this. Because
he was the one, he was in the water and he came up and
Yeah.
he
Yes.
grabbed him. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's and see, that's another copycat
That's
thing.
kind of scary right there.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
another copycat thing. Sean Cunningham was just like, oh, we need a Carrie ending. Remember at the end of Carrie when the hand jumps out and grabs her? We need something like that. So that's what they put that final. And I think it was Tom Savini, the makeup artist. He was just like, I don't know about that. And so there's still kind of argument with the filmmakers to this day whether that's actually Jason, whether Jason is alive. The director of Part 2 and Part 3 said that Jason's dead. I don't even know why we made these other movies. And it's like, you cashed the check for Part 2 and Part 3, buddy, and Jason is the killer in those movies. So I don't know why you're fighting us so hard.
Right.
But yeah, I was not expecting that. When did I see that? I was in college. That was when I was just like, oh, I'm going to watch every scary movie I can find because, I don't live at home anymore. I could do what I want.
Right.
So instead of drinking, I was watching.
I'm going to eat my cookie dough and I'm going to watch scary movies.
We've
Oh,
talked about
yeah, that
this.
sounds great.
It wasn't cookie dough. It was rainbow chip frosting.
Yes.
Oh,
I
me
got-
too, dude.
Oh, I got
Me
so
too.
sick. I got so sick. I love rainbow chip.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing with Friday the 13th, the whole iconic thing that you think of is this hockey mask.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Friday the 13th look. But I didn't realize when I went back and I was kind of watching stuff, and the hockey mask doesn't come along until much later.
Part 3.
Part 3,
Nope.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I mean, I don't
He
know
was
if
a
you want to...
sack.
Yeah, it was a sack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it was, spoiler alert, wasn't it the mom was the bad guy?
In Part 1.
Part
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just avenging her son like a good mom does.
Like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Now, if she puts a sack on her head, we know what's going on. Uh-oh.
whatchamacallit? This kind of makes me think of something interesting. It's weird when a woman is avenging the death of her son. It is in a horror movie where she's considered the villain. But if a man is avenging the loss of his family, it is in an action movie where he's considered the hero. And
The
you get
hero.
and you get stuff like what is that? Charles Bronson, Death Wish.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that
You got a good point. Yeah.
that the woman is considered the villain while the man is considered the hero. Like, why aren't we watching Friday the 13th from,
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think I know what the difference is that this woman is not killing the people who directly killed her son. Because these people aren't directly tied to the death of Jason. They're kind of indirectly tied. They're just working at this camp. And, of course, bringing the camp back is, kind of dredging up all that old stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But Charles Bronson's directly going after the guys that did it. So I guess maybe that's where the difference lies.
But you know what? Like another point, do you remember the movie Serial Mom?
I don't think I saw that
No.
one.
Oh no. Okay, homework. Go watch that. I love that movie so much. Ricky Lake's in it, Matthew Lillard's in it. So
I love Matthew Lillard.
the mom in it is kind of like Pamela Voorhees, but she's actually going after people who are directly treating her
wow.
kids wrong. So, but she's still considered the villain.
Okay. I'll
Watch
have to
it. You're
check
going to
that out.
love it. It's one of my favorites. It's from the early 90s.
Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, that sounds like a fun one. I'll give it a
It
shot.
is.
I haven't heard of Ricky Lake in a long time. My gosh, where's she?
I don't know
ended
where
up
she
at?
is now.
Yeah. But when was the first time you saw? I'll ask both of you this. When was the first time you saw Friday the 13th, the original?
For me, the original, it came out in 1980, and I probably saw it just right around that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you go to theaters to see movies a lot when you were a kid, or yeah?
Yeah. I would have gone to see it in the theater. And, you know, I don't necessarily like horror slasher movies, but there are aspects of it that I appreciate and that I think is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more of a fun thing when I'm watching these types of things, watching how killers get from point A to point B, and they know where everybody's at, and they're always in the right spot to kill somebody. I think that's kind of funny.
So
It is.
a movie, you have probably seen this, and you probably have your finger on the pulse for this. You have no idea what I'm about to talk about. There's
You don't know that.
Yeah, no, I know. You don't. You have no clue, dude. There's this awesome movie called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie
I watched
Vernon.
it last night.
No, you didn't. You're such a freaking liar. You're such a freaking liar, dude. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, it's an incredible movie, and the sequel's on its way out. Like it has taken 20 years to get a sequel off the ground, and it's finally on its way. Thanks to the generous donors at GoFundMe. No, Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
So if you need a movie made, go to Kickstarter.
Yes.
But the whole movie is about these graduate students that follow a serial killer around, and they're filming a documentary with him, and he's showing them everything that goes into being a serial killer and all the stuff you have to do. And there's this part where Leslie Vernon, who's the serial killer, is just beating the crap out of this punching bag, and they're filming him and interviewing him, and he goes, "You have no idea how much cardio this job requires." And they're like, "Why so much?" He goes, "Well, you have to be able to run around without getting winded, and there's that whole thing of, looking like you're walking when they're running,
Right?
and you have to
so
try to
funny.
keep up with them." Yeah, it's a funny movie.
It's good.
But it takes all the tropes of slasher films and kind of breaks them down and shows you why these things happen in these slasher movies and stuff like that.
Right.
And it helps, make some sense and add to it.
So you two talk, I don't know much about Friday the 13th, but you guys are like connoisseurs of these types of things. So you two talk about Friday the 13th, kind of run through it a little bit, what it's about, some of the characters, and why people are being killed and those types of things. Maybe talk about some of the stuff that you really liked, different scenes that really were interesting.
Okay.
And why? I think the music was really cool.
Yep, the music is still good to this day. And the composer for this film has come back for every single one except for one of them, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's one where he just wasn't available, and so they had another composer kind of copycat his score. But Harry Manfredini has been on all of them pretty much. So, but the music is really cool, and that is something that it gets talked about a lot on podcasts when this movie gets brought up. Is the
yeah, I do that all the time.
Oh yeah, that's what this is from this movie, and it's actually the people were playing around with like the sound effects, and it went from Killer Mommy, because that's what Pamela Voorhees says at the end of the movie. She's like, "Killer Mommy, killer." She's like playing Jason's voice in her head,
Right?
And so that's where the comes from.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So it's commonly, misunderstood. A lot of people think it's ha, 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 but it's
Well, that's probably closer
Kiki
to what I
Mama.
do.
yeah, Kiki Mama. Yeah. So yeah, and the music is very, very. I there's some scores where you're like, oh, that's good music, but there's just something about this score that it just fits perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And they pull off the Jaws thing in this one, where if there's like a POV of someone following someone and you don't hear the music, it's not the killer.
Right.
The music only follows the killer. So that's kind of like the hint as, there's no music, I don't have to worry. But when the music comes, that's when you know. Because the music for Jaws was only used whenever the shark was around.
Interesting.
So, yeah, yeah. any favorite scenes in this one?
Not the first one. Actually, I do like the Kevin Bacon kill. That
Yeah.
was pretty fun.
Yeah, there's a ton of awesome kills in this that ended up having to be toned down in
Yes.
future sequels, unfortunately. But that's why people go to these movies, is because they like watching, special effects and people get killed and stuff
Right.
like that, and that's what made it fun. And so it's a bummer that we got less and less of that, as with every subsequent movie. The gore got cut down more and more,
Yeah,
and more,
it
until
did.
there was hardly anything left.
That is true.
So this was one of my favorites in the series for a long time, and I watched it again for this podcast, and I did not like it as much as I have in the past.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just because of what you have seen beyond that?
No, I've seen beyond it before. I usually start with one and work my way through. Like every time I start one, I work my way through the series and watch the rest of them. I own them all on 4K Blu-ray. By the end, it's always, part 8 was the worst. Part 6 is my favorite. And I really, I know everyone hates part 1, but I love part 1.
I do too.
This time it wasn't my favorite. I don't know
No?
what I watched it again and I was like, man, there's a lot of dead air in this movie. It's just like, we have a script, but it's only 70 pages and we need a 90-minute movie. So we really got it. Like there's a scene in there. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, is the scene where everyone is dead now, and Alice is the only one still alive.
Yep.
And we watch her make coffee for 30 minutes. I'm like, why? Like, this turned into a Folgers ad. Why are we watching her make coffee for 30? Like, I know that they're trying to build suspense, but I mean, suspense can only be built for so long.
Right.
And then it has to be resolved, or else it turns into boredom. Like, the suspense can only build for so long before it falls off.
Right.
And so
Right.
usually you have to resolve the suspense right at the moment. Because if you resolve it too soon, the suspense didn't work. But
Right.
it's got to feel right there, and right when it's about to snap, you have to snap it, or it falls off. And that's what happens with that coffee scene. Is we're watching her and like, something's gonna happen, and then she's making coffee, and they're like, okay, something's gonna happen, and then she's making coffee, and you're like, okay, well maybe nothing's gonna happen, and then we watch her make coffee some more.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, back in the old days, it did take about 30 minutes to make coffee. So, I mean, they were working with what they had.
Yeah. But this was definitely a instance of trying to stretch out the runtime to make sure we hit that 90-minute mark, because you had to have a 90-minute movie to put in theaters, or else,
Right.
People wouldn't take it. And another thing too is that there's a vast difference between part 1 and part 2. Is that Sean Cunningham is a businessman who wanted to do business, and that's what this movie is about.
Yeah.
And then part 2 was given to a filmmaker, and the filmmaker made a movie. So that's why part 2, I mean, it's almost like Evil Dead, where part 2 kind of starts over a little bit. It kind of like reboots, it like does a quick little reboot, but then continues the story as a sequel.
Right.
That's what I feel about part 2, is that you could cut part 1 from this series and just start with part 2.
Yep.
And like give a little bit of information, but you could start the franchise at part 2 and
Right.
not really miss too much.
Well, they were kind of riding off of the Halloween and the success there, and they were wanting to make money, and they didn't want to invest a ton of money. Now, I think I read they put in about $550,000 for their budget,
Yeah.
and made almost $60 million.
Yeah.
Off of it. That's
Pretty good profit.
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
turnaround, right?
And I'm over here crapping on Sean Cunningham. It worked. He's a businessman. He made money, so that means he's a good businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did what he set out to do. It's
Well,
just
and it was kind of a cool story.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I still do enjoy this movie. It's just couldn't it tighten it up a bit?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's something that comes with editing more. The more and more I edit, like especially in my own films, where I'm watching stuff, I'm like, ooh, man, that lags right there. Like there's movies that I have finished that I'll watch them again and I'll be like, nope, I could have cut it there. I could have cut a little bit of time. I could have trimmed it up a little. But, you know, the movie's already, you know, on YouTube and I can't do anything about it. So.
Right.
But the more I edit, the more I see, oh, yeah, you could have trimmed a little bit from this one.
Yeah.
But I still have a soft spot in, you know, my heart for this movie because Friday the 13th is my series. Everyone kind of has like a Mount Rushmore that is their favorite. It's called the Mount Rushmore of horror. And so Alec is a huge fan of the Texas Chainsaw franchise. That's his.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So he's Leatherface all the way, that entire series, even the bad ones. He enjoys those movies. And I'm the same way with this. I can watch, you know, the bad ones and still have fun, but I don't know if I can watch the bad ones of Texas Chainsaw and still have a good time.
Yeah. Huh.
But this is your Mount Rushmore, right? No?
No.
Who's yours?
So I actually have two.
Okay.
Evil Dead and Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, so you prefer Texas Chainsaw over
What?
this?
I do actually. Jason, don't come kill me. But again, but my husband and I are both really big into TCM. We're huge Bill Moseley fans. So
have you worked with
in
Bill?
them. Have I worked with him? Not yet, but I've met him a few times. I had lunch with him once, and he's just the nicest dude on the planet, and manifesting a film with him soon.
Oh, I hope you get it. He's
cool.
He's so cool. He's such a fun guy. So Bill Moseley was in the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and he got the part because he was playing a character in a parody from the first one. He made a little parody film called The Texas Chainsaw Manicure. And he was playing a character from the first movie, and they're like, man, that impression is spot on. And so they had him come into the second movie and play the brother. So they're twin brothers. Yeah, Chop Top. So he is he's the twin brother of the guy that he was, you know, riffing on from the first movie.
That's funny.
We should reach out to Bill, see if we can get him on the podcast. It'd be fun.
It.
I'll call him right now.
Yeah, Bill Moseley. Put him on the list, Dad.
He's on the list.
So, what's your favorite kill in this movie?
In the original Friday the 13th.
Let's do both. What is your favorite in this one, and what is your favorite in the entire franchise?
So I like Kevin Bacon's kill for sure because have you ever watched the show? I think it's called Movies That Made Us.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that show.
They do a whole in-depth look at like Friday the 13th and stuff like that. And they show like the Kevin Bacon kill and what they had to do. That was really cool to watch the BTS for.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that one a lot. But the other one I like is the sleeping bag kill.
Literally.
It's so good. And it like proves that Jason doesn't need a machete. He doesn't need anything. He's just got brute strength and he can just kill you, whipping you around, hitting you on a tree in a sleeping bag.
So that's funny is that is a kill. So he finds a camper in a sleeping bag, and Jason grabs the sleeping bag and starts bashing it against a giant tree. And the MPAA watched it, and they were just like, he bashes this woman against the tree 3 times. We can't have that. You need to trim this down. Mm-hmm. And so they trimmed it down to 2, and they're like, no, this needs to be cut down. So they trimmed it down to 1, and they're like, that's acceptable. So smashing a woman against a tree 3 times is a no-no.
Right.
Smashing her against a tree once that's okay. And the director ended up saying, he goes, I really wanted 3, but when we cut it down to 1, it made it much more brutal.
Yeah.
Because instead of taking 3 whacks to kill this person, he just did 1 giant whack and immediately. Boom.
So which Friday the 13th is this one in?
This is part 7.
Oh,
yes.
Part 7. Okay, so we're way down the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part 7 was just cut to shreds by the MPAA. And when they released the box set just a couple years ago, they found out that someone had a VHS tape of the old kills that got cut from the movie.
Oh, shit.
And it was
wow.
it was the only existing tape left. And so they sent police officers to this guy's house to escort him to the HQ to make sure that nothing happened to this tape
Right.
while they were trying to get it fixed. And when they got there, it had one of those paper sleeves on it, and it had fused to the VHS. So they had to put it in the oven at just the right temperature to get that paper to
To
come off,
Yeah.
but not enough that it would destroy the tape. And they were successfully able to get all of that footage off the tape and put it onto. So you can watch it in the special features. The quality is horrible, so it couldn't be put back into the movie for a director's cut because it's the only remaining footage left.
Right.
A lot of times when people take deleted scenes and restorations and stuff, it's because they have the 35 millimeter prints, and 35 millimeter holds up really well.
Yeah.
So if you have those reels in storage somewhere and you find them, you could clean up a movie and make a nice restoration, and it looks good. Like almost all of the restorations on Amazon, I say this every episode, but anytime I watch something, even this movie, Friday the 13th, I watched it on Amazon. It is pristine. The colors look beautiful. It has just the right amount of film grain. I mean, everything on it. I can't watch anything on Netflix.
So I'm assuming in part 7, it's not the mom anymore.
No, she never comes back.
So just the first.
Got her
first
head
one.
chopped off.
Yeah. Well, her head is in the second one, so I guess
That's
she
true.
kind of in the. But yeah, no, it's Jason from here on out. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, right on.
Which I don't know if that spoils the rest of the franchise for you, but honestly, that's what people want. They want to keep going back for Jason. That's why they come back because, it's like James Bond. You watch James Bond and, of course the villains can be cool.
Yeah.
The women that he meets could be very pretty, but you're there for James Bond. And it's the same with Friday the 13th. You can kind of like the characters. You can kind of like Terry Kaiser when he shows up in part 7, Weekend at
Loves
Bernie's.
Terry.
Yeah.
You've worked with Terry Kaiser, yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
On
So sweet.
259.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
working
yeah,
with
yeah.
him again on Laugh.
Really?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, tell him I
Peter
say
Anthony's
hi.
movie.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool deal. Yeah. Tell him I say hi. We just posted my mom just sent me a picture that I took of him when we were shooting 259, and I got to meet him. That was fun.
Nice.
So
He's
sweet.
in part 7.
Yes.
I think that was right before Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh.
So
Maybe.
I think Weekend at Bernie's kind of shot him into the stratosphere after that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, what I was saying is that everyone comes to this franchise to watch Jason kill people.
Yeah.
That's why we do it. It's fun.
So this is definitely a cult classic.
Oh,
Yes.
God. Usually a cult classic implies that there is just a small group of people that really that rabidly love this movie, like Pink Flamingos. It's not a wide movie that people enjoy. There's a small group of people and they love it ravenously. I think that this is too big to be a cult classic. I think at this point it's just a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have animatronic Jason Voorhees at Spirit Halloween all across the country and still call this a cult classic.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could say it's more like iconic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say it's iconic rather than cult classic.
Yeah.
You can't even say Terrifier is a cult classic anymore because
No, it's
when
huge.
I was going to school, every kid was talking about Freddy Krueger. They were just like, "Oh, you better watch out if Freddy Krueger's going to get you." And that was the talk on the playground. Is everyone knew who Jason was, everyone knew who Freddy Krueger was, even though 90% of us were too young to see those movies. We all knew who he was. And that's the same thing with Terrifier. Is Art the Clown is talked about, like every kid on every playground knows who Art the Clown is now. Even
Oh, yeah.
I hope that they haven't seen these movies, but they know who he is because he's in Spirit Halloween now.
Yeah.
There's lots of movies where I'm like, Dad, for the podcast, you gotta watch
Let's
it.
watch it.
But I don't think I'll subject you to Terrifier. I think
Very
that one
gory.
I think that one we could leave out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So
it is.
the final scene, Jason jumps out of the lake.
Yes.
So I'm reading a lot of kind of debates that go on about the whole thing. There's always, you got groups that think, oh, this is what this is. And another group is, no, this is, and I'm reading, was it a dream? Was it a hallucination? Was it supernatural? So what do you guys think about the whole Jason out of the lake thing? Where do you stand?
Let's have Amber go first because my answer is not going to be as fun.
Okay.
So it's hard, right? Because like you can think it's supernatural because like as the series goes on, Jason is like unkillable. So there is some sort of supernatural aspect to it. I mean, I guess that's what I would have to go with is like supernatural because it doesn't make sense for him to like be alive.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It was kind of like a cool scene though, because you weren't really expecting anything to happen. You were just like, okay, she survived. She's on the boat, and then all of a sudden, blah, here he is. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with supernatural.
Yeah.
My answer is 10 different films, 10 different directors, not a lick of continuity.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what it is that it doesn't matter what the answer is because every movie has a new director and they're going to throw out what they want. They're going to keep what they want. And
so who Jason is or what he is different.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean, Jason wasn't even really undead or a zombie until he was resurrected in part 6.
Yes.
Until that point, he was just considered a super resilient man.
Right.
Or was he? I mean, like the answers could be, and I think that's kind of something that makes these movies so much fun is that you can sit there and argue with your friends all day and just chit chat about stuff and no yardage is ever going to be made on the play. You can sit there and just talk about it all day and this guy's not going to change his mind. This guy's not going to change his mind. But, you're still going to have fun. You're still going to have a good time.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what the answer is because it's got a cool jump scare. And then we get Jason for the rest of the franchise and we get to have fun with him.
Right.
My answer in story is that's just Alice's hallucination, but Jason was a grown man wandering the woods the whole time. So I don't think that Jason is the actual Jason. I just think that's a manifestation of her trauma, and that the real Jason was kind of out and about trying to find his way back home, and that's who we get in the other movies.
Nice.
Except
I
part
like
5.
that theory.
Yeah. Except
Deep.
part 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
Except
deep.
for part 5.
Part 5 is the only other movie in the franchise that Jason's not the killer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Should I spoil it for you?
No.
Okay.
I think what we should do is mostly we were just kind of talking a little bit about Friday the 13th, the original. And I don't know a whole lot about the franchise, but I think it would be interesting because you're talking about part 5 is completely different, part 7. And now I'm finding out that Amber likes Leatherface more than Jason Voorhees. But I think it would be neat to come back and dive into a couple of them that you guys like more than the original. I was just assuming the original was probably
the best.
This is the best because this is where it started.
And every other franchise, you would be right. The first movie is always the best, and then that's why we get all these additional movies with diminishing returns. In no other franchise ever has the first movie been mediocre, and that the sequels are the ones that everyone talks about, where they get better as they go. That almost never happens.
Right.
But yeah, what's your favorite in the series?
So I really like part 6 and I like part
Yeah.
7 because part
Part
7 is different with the whole telekinesis.
Part 6 is my favorite too. And you've worked with the director, Tom McLaughlin, right? He was
I actually didn't meet him on set, but he was a part of Vengeance 2, and so was Tom Matthews and Darcy DeMoss, who is
okay.
also there. And you've met Darcy, right? So,
I have met Darcy. You
yeah.
know what? We should talk about these other movies, but bring back let's get a hold of Darcy and we'll talk about Darcy was part 6.
Yes. She was in the RV.
Yeah. With John Travolta's nephew.
Oh,
And Tom McLaughlin was the director of part 6. So maybe we should talk about part 6 and reach out to, both of them and see if they want to come on and talk about it.
Yeah.
But there's just so many cool entries in this series. Like you said, Amber has a much bigger fascination with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So maybe we won't have her come back and talk about every episode of Friday the 13th.
No.
But
I mean, I like them. I definitely do, but I'm definitely a TCM gal.
Yeah, so now what I'd kind of like to do is have Amber back on, but talk about the Leatherface stuff. And dissect those movies and talk about what makes them great. And
yeah.
If I come back on for that one, and my husband has to join because he is huge into TCM. Like,
so
I love TCM, but he's like obsessed.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, is your husband, does he also do acting, or is he involved in the filmmaking process, or what does he do?
So my husband is a touring musician. He plays guitar for a band called Until I Wake. He actually loves coming with me onto movie sets. Most of the time, people just throw him in, like, "Oh yeah, August, get in there, get in there." He's a dead body or an extra or something.
Sure.
But he is in love with movies. He loves horror movies. He also wants to direct and be a DP, and we're actually writing our own stuff together. So yeah, he's a bit of everything.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
So you're writing stuff now too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've been kind of dabbling in it. I've been writing for like 5 years, and I just have I have so much going on where I just have to put it aside, and then I'll pick it up, and then I just forget. But I've actually gotten a hold of one of my good buddies who was the writer for a movie I just did called Fractured, which is going to be incredible. And he's going to help me finish out that film so I can finally get it done.
There you go. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, writing is it's a different beast than acting.
Oh yeah.
I think knowing how to act helps your writing.
Oh yeah.
Or even vice versa, knowing how to write helps your acting.
Well, I think being an actor also and knowing the whole process of what it takes to make I'm assuming you're probably writing scary slasher horror type stuff. Sort of.
A little bit of it's like psychological thriller / slasher at the same time.
Nice. I like psychological thrillers.
Me too.
Yeah. So I imagine understanding that whole process and what it takes to put a movie together and then being able to write, that probably helps a lot because you've already got the mindset of, well, when I'm writing this, I got to translate this onto the movie set.
Mm-hmm.
And how to do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah. And, I guess a saving grace is that after you get the script done, once you're on set, the movie kind of takes on another life of its own.
Right.
A lot of people say, this is kind of a big saying in filmmaking, is that the movie is written 3 times. Once when you write the script, once when you film it, and once when you edit it.
Yep.
There's just so, you can just make a whole bunch of decisions while you're writing it, and then when you get to filming it, take it a different direction.
Yeah.
And then you get to editing it. You're like, well, let's edit it this way. And there's just so many different things. And
right.
The movie that you usually edit is almost entirely different than what was on,
Oh yeah,
that was on the screen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
it is.
So,
Well,
yeah. Do you have anything else to add for Friday the 13th?
I don't really, because I just, like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but
Yeah.
we should probably grade it. I mean, I can even grade it. I have seen it.
Okay. Before we do, I'm going to pull up. This has been my favorite segment of the show.
The
Letterboxd.
Oh yeah.
The Letterboxd scores from people. So let me pull up a couple of these. Amber, do you have a Letterboxd?
No, I don't.
Oh, bummer.
Amber, you gotta get in the game here.
I gotta get hip with the times, man.
Yeah. So I
I'm
pulled
an
up a
old
couple.
whippersnapper.
I pulled up a couple of reviews that people left on Letterboxd, which is an app that you can download and review movies. Leave 1 to 5-star reviews,
Right.
and put a little quip on there. First of all, I would like to start with where's my buddy at? Okay, we're going to start with a review from Andrew Jupin, who is a member of the podcast We Hate Movies.
Okay.
He is a podcast, they're a podcast that I listen to all the time, and this is his review from Friday the 13th. He gave it 3.5 stars. And he says, tale as old as time, a woman in her late 50s gaining enough strength to powerfully throw a grown adult's body clear through a cabin window.
That's funny as
Oh, man. Andrew Jupin and those guys, they have a ton of funny reviews. They're some of the best. Patrick Williams gave it 3 stars and says, a very violent Scooby-Doo episode.
kind of.
Yeah, it kind of is. I read that. I was like, he's not wrong.
That's right, actually.
Zara, with 2 alien emojis, gives it 2.5 stars. And their review is, this is some reverse Norman Bates.
Yeah. His mother.
Here is a review from Dirk H. I put the H there so you know that it's not the Dirk that we know.
Sure.
Yeah. 2 stars. Was this always this boring? I am a bit disappointed that this didn't age well at all. I appreciate what this film, even though it is riding the coattails of a true classic, has done for the genre, but it is far from a classic. It isn't even a particularly good film. You could even go so far as to say we have all the shallow, trope-ridden 10 Little Indians plot-inspired films to thank for it. Oh, so
Okay.
that was not a positive review from Dirk.
No, Dirk didn't.
No, it's a little aggressive.
Liam F. gives it 1.5 stars.
Oh.
Serves me right for watching this on a Wednesday.
Wow.
Does Alec have anything on it?
Alec does not,
Oh,
unfortunately.
Okay.
It'd be fun to read what he says.
Yeah.
Allure gives it 3.5 stars. I want to be like Crazy Ralph when I grow up.
You're all doomed.
I was at work last night and I was watching this movie and I was talking to one of my coworkers and I said, what's really interesting is that this guy's name is Ralph, and as far as he knows, that's only his name. But everyone else around him calls him Crazy Ralph. And I was just like everyone in town calls him Crazy Ralph. The police call him Crazy Ralph. And I was just like, what are people calling me behind my back?
Now they call me Boris the Animal, but it's just Boris.
Yeah. So you've been watching Men in Black 3 recently, haven't you? Yeah. Got 2 more here. 2.5 stars. Okay, Pamela. Why was Jason outside in the dark in the first place? So this is Pamela's fault. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I bet we will get an answer to that in the new TV show that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Is that Amazon or Hulu?
I think it's Amazon.
Okay.
I can actually reach out. A couple of the people I work with, the twins, the Platten twins, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're in that show.
Oh, okay.
So I could reach out to their mom and see.
Okay, yeah, definitely. That'd be very interesting to find out.
The Platten twins. That sounds scary.
They're like my adopted daughters. I love them to pieces. They are so adorable and so creepy at the same time. They're like the modern day Shining twins.
Oh, that's
nice.
fun. I love that.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Yeah. The last letterbox score we have is 4.5 stars from Vampire Girl. No, Kevin Bacon, don't get impaled through the neck with an arrow. You're so sexy. Aha.
Oh my God. Okay, girl, calm down.
Yeah. So
Keep it in your
that's
pants.
yeah. That's our letterbox for the week.
That's
All right,
fun.
we gonna go around the horn and rate this ourselves?
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's start with you, Amber.
Is it
Well,
what's it out of?
What's the rating?
5?
Let's go out of 5. So 0 being the lowest it can go, at 1/2 being the lowest it can go, 5 being the highest it can go.
So I guess this is hard. I will have to say I'll give it a 3 because it's definitely not my favorite of the series. It's it's a staple film, and I do love a mother avenging her son because I would do the same for my kiddos.
Sure.
But yeah, it definitely could be better. And like you said, there should be like scenes that were kind of snipped down that they go on a little too long. But yeah, I'll give it a 3.
Cut the coffee.
Yeah, cut the coffee. Have an energy drink.
There you go. Yeah. Dad, what about you?
So I'd probably tend to, from watching the snippets and when I watched it when I was younger, probably at the time I would have graded it probably a 3.5. And mostly because it was kind of, I really liked the story. I thought it was kind of a cool idea. And I liked the character, Jason. I liked the Jason character, even though finding out that it was the mom doing all this, I thought this is kind of a really cool, this little Jason guy that's, causing all this problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost gave it 2.5 because of how I was feeling the last time I watched it. But because of how I felt about this movie the past couple times I've watched it, and I loved it so much more in the past, I'm going to bump it up 1 extra half and give it a straight solid 3.
Nice.
3 Pamela Voorhees heads out of 5.
3 machetes.
Yeah. We didn't talk about this, but when she gets her head cut off and her hands come up, and like there's a scene at the very end where she gets her head cut off and her hands come up and like almost as if like the hands are trying to grab to feel where her severed head should be.
Yeah.
Sure.
And those aren't her hands. If you see, there's just like these black knuckle hair just all over the hands. And it's actually
Tom's, right?
No, Stavos, his assistant.
That's right. That's right.
So it's just him with these hairy knuckles, just and he's got like a big old like giant like ring.
Man's hands come up,
reaching for old woman face. Maybe Pamela Voorhees has those big giant man hands, and that's how she was able to throw people through the window.
People.
You solved it.
There we go. Yeah. So yeah, and it's really funny is that we gave it a 3, and that's exactly the average on Letterboxd. So it takes everybody's scores and averages them, and it comes out to an even 3.0 on Letterboxd.
Damn.
Nice.
So yeah, so we're hitting the average, guys.
Hell yeah.
Good job.
All right. Well.
All right, Amber. I know that you need to go to bed.
Yes, shortly. I gotta go wash the dirt off of me and then go to bed. Unfortunately, my day job isn't so glamorous as my night job being a movie star. But I had to get up for work at like 3:30 in the morning, and it's
oh my gosh.
Shoot.
So
I'm passed out by 9:30.
There you go.
The day job is she goes out and she avenges for her children.
There you go.
I am Pamela Voorhees. Yes.
There you go. Professional Voorhees. Professional Pamela.
You got to get
I
up
would
early
love to
for
put that on my resume.
All right. We ready to head on out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Amber, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
It's
You
always
were
great to
awesome.
see you.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's always a blast. I'm down to come on whenever you want.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
talk Texas Chainsaw next time.
So
Absolutely.
So tomorrow night we're going to do another podcast.
Okay. All right. Let me know.
All right. We'll see you later, Amber.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. And we're Jason Voorhees. Nice.
All right. See ya.
Awesome. Bye,
Bye, Amber.
guys.